Well, I'm going to say 2-0 FM. They've looked strong all tournament. They were the team who came through the upper bracket. And with Rasta being a mix, I just think the team, despite Mike S being a stand-in, I think they just might have that edge.
I think Mike S might have been an advantage to him, to be honest. He's been playing absolutely sensationally since he's been playing for them. But one thing to note as well, I think I have to agree with you on the 2-0 to Toxic, just because Rasta were up until about 7 in the morning last night playing their final lower bracket game. So I don't believe they've actually had much sleep here, which is not going to work in their favour, that's for sure. So here we go. We know the maps already. So we have Dust 2 to kick things off. That's going to be a pick from Fragmasters. That's what they get. There's no upper bracket advantage here. They don't go in having a map already. They basically get to choose the first map. That's what they get here. And then we have Nuke coming in for Rasta. And then if we need it, it's going to be D-Cash.
Yeah.
So Dust 2 first. Obviously a big deathmatch style map. I think the reason that Fragmasters have shown that, they picked that one just because they know they're fresh today. They've had time to warm up on the stage, and I think this kind of map suits in their favour quite a lot, just because they've got these big players on their side, like Mike S and particularly Socken as well. He's been playing very well indeed. So I think Dust 2, I think depending on how things start, I think that will go in quite favourably in Fragmasters.
Fair enough, but then again, we did see Rasta play against PC Hire, who too were one of the favourites to win the tournament, and they won 16-7. They won rather convincingly.
Yeah, well, when you've got players like Weber in your lineup, anything can happen at any time, to be honest. So it's here we go. We have jumped into the knife round now, so we're going to jump on the server, and here we go. We can see Mike S actually taking a little bit of damage there, and it looks like the opening frag is going to come from Fragmaster Z, taking down Reason. So,
come on, we don't cast knife rounds.
Well, it keeps things exciting. Keep it flowing.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Interesting team kill from Mike S. Pulse with the hat trick. Not too shabby. Looking good from Rasta, at least on the knife rounds.
Sure. Well, we've seen a lot of teams actually favour CT recently. It seems like with the new kind of meta with double orb setups and stuff like that, it seems like a lot of teams, especially, would like to stay CT and just build up the rounds and kind of set a target for themselves as terrorists, as it were. Let's see what they do. I think the team staying?
They should be good to go.
Yep.
Toxic are ready.
So we're going to have Toxic starting on the CT. That Rasta will be opting to stay terrorist.
No, they want to swap.
Oh, there we go.
Interesting decision. Yeah, exactly what you spoke about.
Yeah, exactly. So we've seen a team, especially we've got Orpers on the Rasta team. We've got Weber and Spuds, who have. Well, I'm going to predict Weber's going to be taken towards B with the AWP, and then Spuds will be picking up the slack towards long. But yeah, that's what they'll probably be aiming for, kind of build up as many rounds as they can here. But here we go. It looks like we're ready to jump into the pistol round.
Yes, we are. And again, tell us about this new CSGO meta with the Glocks and armor buy.
So normally you'll see 5 players. Well, in this case, you've got 4 players on armor, just kind of full buys, and you'll have 1 utility player who will be setting them up. So you can see when Zenio has got that smoke in hand, he'll be using that to smoke off a choke point and kind of get his team in position. So it looks like the T's are just going to be feeling out the map here. Interestingly, though, it seems like they're not going to be doing anything too fast. They're going to be working their way into the long doors now. It's going to seem like there's not actually going to be any CT resistance waiting for them.
No, but Jacob is lurking outside long. He sees the terrorists, and he's being rushed by 3 of them. Jacob with 2, but it's not going to be enough as Socken gets the return frag. And FM Toxic now, slowly but surely, making their way towards that A bomb site. And Mike S with a crisp headshot. And now, 3 versus 3 with the slight advantage is in favour of the CTs because of the HP advantage and the extra man.
Well, saying that now, it's a 3-on-2 situation. Pulse manages to pick up a kill onto Windansky. And here we go. Weber's going to be in CT sport and see what he can do. And he manages to pick up a double there. And that's going to be the first round in favour of Rasta Gaming on the CT side there. And no bomb for Fragmasters to speak of. So it looks like they might have to do. They won't be able to get armor or anything here, but they're just going to have to get the CZs out and see whether they can get the bomb down this round.
Yeah, I agree. The aim should be to get the bomb down. They get the bomb down, they'll be able to go for the early buy on the 3rd round, which of course the terrorists can do because their weapons are cheaper than the counter-terrorist M4s. The AK is significantly cheaper.
Exactly.
Than the M4.
It's key here for Rasta to ensure they don't drop any frags here, especially if the bomb goes down. They've gone for a full damage buy here, so they've invested quite heavily. They don't want to drop any guns, they just want to keep their distance and ensure that the terrorists aren't having any sort of look into the round.
So here we go. We are going to have Reason, who's going to be the counter-terrorist playing inside the B bomb site. Socken has gone relatively aggressive here in long hook, but he is going to fall back towards mid. And it looks like with the bomb on short, they're probably contemplating a mid to B here. Maybe leave someone to fake the A bomb site. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks like they're actually going to be taking that mid-position now, and Weber opening up the fragging there, and he's actually going to manage to pick up 2 frags. Zed finally takes him down, and we're going to have one more CT waiting for them. That's going to be Reason. He manages to take down Socken there, and we can see Neil Zeno might be able to pick up a couple of frags here. Oh, unfortunately not. And that's going to be a pretty convincing round for Rasta there. They only managed to drop 1 frag for their team, and that's going to force no bomb again, so it's going to be another eco, another CZ round perhaps from FM.
Yeah, but it is going to be another CZ round. And it's such a boost, Henry, when you manage to get the bomb down in the first 2 rounds and manage to plant it and secure the 2-1 early on.
When you're coming out of the paddocks there with AKs next round, you just know you've got the advantage just because of that bomb plant. You didn't even win the round, just getting that extra money kind of sealed almost a free round for you just because you know they're going to have Famouses. But that wasn't able to happen, and here we go. We can see the fragging opening up from Pulse, taking down Stock in here. Looks like their Ts aren't going to be doing too much here. I think they're just looking for any sort of frags available. The bomb is going to be making its way back to middle, and the Ts just seem so spread out across the map. I don't really see them making any sort of impact this round.
Yeah, it's really good that the CTs, they're playing really deep on these bomb sites. They're keeping stuff to long distance because they have the rifles, they have the submachine guns.
Well, that's the thing. You need to make sure you actually, especially on these sort of areas like long, they don't really need to face. They need to force the Ts come onto the bomb site, and they can just kill them with crossfires, really. You don't really need to do much more than that. And we can see the CTs doing that really well here. Weber just keeping his distance here, knocking a bit of HP off the Mike S. Manages to take him down, finally that UMP. Interesting buy from him. J-Chem, a nice little shot onto Zed there. And we can see it's a 2-on-5 situation here, make that 5-on-1. And Neil Zeno is going to be the last man. He has got the bomb in hand, but I really don't see him doing much here. J-Chem should be able to take him down, which he does. And that's going to be the 3rd round, and a clean sweep for Rasta there as they go into the first gun round. It'll be interesting to see what guns they opt for here. It looks like they might just want to build up that economy and keep those Famouses in hand. We can see Mike S has got his favourite AWP out. We know how deadly he can be with that. So it'll be interesting to see how this round goes down, seeing as the CTs have not got any snipers whatsoever this round.
Well, interestingly enough, Mike S decided not to shoot the CTs crossing double doors. Let's go and have a look at where he's gone. He's actually going towards long, and in fact, he's got 4 of his comrades with him. So 4 players going towards long. No resistance met just yet. And Rasta are playing this really, really deep, actually. They've stacked 2 on short, and they've got 1 person on the A-bomb site.
The best thing about this, when you can take a position on the map like long as a terrorist, is so fantastic, because you can just go and get your AWP into the pit, and it allows you to kind of say, well, OK, we've got control of that position. We can go back to short, or we can even take middle. And the CTs don't really have that much info as to what's going down on long. So this is a great position for them now, just getting their AWP into the pit there. We can see Mike S, there he is, just holding that area, and this allows the Ts now to kind of rotate and do something else while the CTs have no real information as to what's going on.
Yeah, Mike S in pit, he's scouting out that A-bomb site. Hasn't managed to spot anyone. Good nade from Socken onto short, putting Spuds on 44 points of health, if I can remember how to speak. But here we go. Still no casualties as of yet as the clock ticks down. And fm-eSports, they need to get a move on. They need to get this bomb down. Here comes Neil. Pulse gets the return frag, but it's not going to be enough. The CTs find themselves 1 man down. Jacob drops the bomb. Jacob with the double. And, well, 2 versus 3. With only 25 seconds to go, Henry, the bomb is lost. Do you think FM can do it?
I don't think so. I think this is going to be a bit too far of a stretch for them. We can see Mike S making his way up, and he doesn't manage to land the AWP shot. Zed is going to be left in a 1-on-2 situation, but without that bomb in hand, it's going to be very difficult indeed. You can see the Molotov being landed on there, and this has got 10 seconds on the clock. I think Zed should probably try and save it. It's not going to happen. Weber takes him down, and that's going to be the 4th round on the board in favour of Rasta Gaming. And they seem to be getting a nice bit of momentum here. Just to note, they actually opted to keep the Famouses that round, so their economy is going to be absolutely fantastic now. And even though they dropped a few frags that round, I think they dropped 3 frags, they'll have so much money rolling in. They've managed to get the snipers out now, and they've managed to keep a Famous as well. So money is very healthy. They've forced FM onto another eco here. And on the favoured side, potentially going down 5-0 this early on in the game is going to be devastating for them. They know they're on the easier side technically, statistically. So as I say that, Mike S actually opens up the fragging onto J-Chem, and could this be a glimmer of hope for FM to get back into this?
Well, they need to get this bomb down. That's always the aim on these eco rounds. Mike S opening the scoring with a frag at long. He's looking for another one, and it looks like a second one might come in. It's going to be Zed to get one. Mike with another CZ kill, and what a round from FM Toxic. They only had Deagles to work with. They only had CZs. 4 of them didn't even have a helmet or armor, and they've managed to get the bomb down.
It's because, like we said before, the key to these anti-ecos is keeping your distance and dust too, and we saw J-Chem get taken down quite early on in the round there. He went quite aggressive. I don't think they predicted that the Ts were going to be on eco that round, and they managed. the main thing on anti-egos as well is making sure you use the buddy system. You have someone with you to get the frag back as soon as you die. So when they lost their first frag and then they got kind of pulled apart a little bit, it kind of it all fell apart, and then they've only actually lost one frag on this eco round. So Weber's going to be the last man left. Let's just jump on board with him and see what he's actually doing here. He's just going to be trying to save his gun any way he possibly can. He's got that Asimov M4, and here we go. Will Nizumi are going to take him down. He won't. Weber does manage to pick up that last kill, and that's going to be a huge round for FM, and then that's going to get them straight back into this. You can see they've got a nice healthy buy there. Managed to pick up the AWP that was dropped, so it'll be interesting to see how this one pans out now. We can see the CTs have actually opted to buy here. We talked about their money system being so strong after that FAMAS round.
Yeah, so Mike S, this time he is staring down mid with that big green gun in the AWP, but didn't pull the trigger and didn't deal too much damage. And interestingly enough, Spuds has taken the AWP to short. What do you think about that?
Well, this is why I think we'll see a lot more. I think before Weber picks it up, I think they'll run this setup of one AWP for a while until it stops working. And that's when we'll see Weber pick up the AWP setup as well. And that's when they'll kind of just try to be a bit more variable and kind of working around the map with those AWPs and kind of surprising the teams. But for now, this is a nice setup. Just keep it how it is until it just really stops working. That's when you need to adapt it. We can see Spuds there using the AWP and taking down a huge scalp there with Mike S. That's going to be a magnificent pick for them, and it's going to knock the T's back. And here we go. They're going to make their way up the short, smoked off there, and this is going to slow the T's right down.
Here we go. The smoke, like Henry just said, is going to slow them down. So they might opt to smoke CT. In fact, they've already smoked CT spawn, and they might opt to go for the mid to B push. Maybe send the bomb through tunnels, send a few through mid to B, and surround the CT in this B bomb site. So here we go. Pulse is going to walk out of the smoke. He's going to get one, but he can't find any more. And now the CTs are wondering. Neil is going to come in.
Wow.
Neil and Socken explode on the B bomb site. And at 3 versus 3, I may have spoken too soon. The bomb's been dropped. Spuds is all eyes on the terrorist crossing, but they need to get this bomb down. 20 seconds and counting.
Yeah, absolutely. With no bomb in hand right now, they really need to find and get on it. Zed does manage to pick up the bomb. Let's jump on him and see whether he gets it down. It's 15 seconds remaining. Bomb will go down, but it looks like they're in such precarious positions. Pulse picks up a double, and he will be taking the 5th round on the board for Rasta. Huge round for them, and that's going to knock FM's money into no man's land, as we can see. Oh, actually, it's not actually too bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. After winning one and losing one, I thought it'd be a lot more detrimental for them for that. But they actually will be able to afford a buy here, just about. I think they'll be able to drop a gun, and you can see the AWP coming out, and there should be another big round here. We can see the dual AWP setup is what I discussed before. We can see Weber has actually opted to pick that gun up now. So we just jump on board with Weber quickly. We see he'll be going towards B, and we'll see Spuds kind of taking that A reign, as it were.
Yeah, so Weber sort of utilising 2 roles here. He's all eyes on tunnels to prevent the rush, and then later on him and Reason will switch, and Weber will be all eyes on the mid to B push. And it's so much better to try and hold mid to B from inside of B, AWPing through window, because the flashes that are thrown over and the smokes don't really affect you as much.
It's a very defensive position, very strong as well. We can see here, Weber can spot a terrorist in the tunnels. It looks like it's going to be a huge kill. Mike S, unable to get started here. We've seen him be so strong this tournament. He's unable to really get going here. So I think we're yet to see what he's going to be capable of this land final. But Weber right now is firing on all cylinders and manages to take the first pick. And that's going to knock the T's right back and take the wind out of their sails. And we can see what they're doing here. Looks like a little A execution coming up.
Yeah, it does. Toxic stampede towards the A bomb site. Pulse is taking a risk here, and he will go down, punished for that mistake. And Neil is going to go for the safe plant, and FM Toxic with the bomb down. You'd really expect them to hold it from here. They've done the hard thing. They've got the bomb down, put the smokes out, throw flashes out, run the time down. Yeah,
they really need to make sure they have strong arms on one part of the map here. If they're not going to push short, they need to make sure they're getting the frags on long. We can see the CTs rotating in from CT spawn now, and they're going to be swarming onto the site, and it looks like the next kill is probably going to make it. It's going to be a 2-on-1 situation, but we have got Weber, and we know how strong he is at clutching. He knows what he has to do. Bomb ticking away. They know it's a fake. He's going for the full defuse. Oh, it's not going to happen. Socken does take him down, and that's going to be the 2nd round on the board for FM Toxic, and that's a big one for them. It looks like the T's might have to eco here. We might see a few CZs come out, but that's going to be an important round for FM. I think this might be the pivotal point for them where they manage to build up some momentum and kind of get back into this game, as heaven knows they need it right now.
Yeah, they do. And let's see if Mike S can get a cheeky frag through double doors. He's left Reason on only 5 points of health. So that's a great start. And that nade going into the B bomb site from Socken, sort of hoping that it would land somewhere near Reason.
Like an alley-oop sort of setup. Kind of, you set him up, I'll knock him down. But we can see this is a full eco round. We should see FM take this round pretty comfortably. Socken opening up the fragging there. You see Reason is on 5 points of health as well.
Yeah, there we go. Jacob is going to be on short. with that CZ75. We know how good the CZ75 is in CSGO. A lot of people saying it needs to be nerfed even more than the previous nerf.
I think the main thing is the teams playing against him just to be more disciplined and just make sure they're going frag for frag. If it's just the problem is when you get caught with your trousers down and you let yourself get killed without a teammate being there, that's when you get punished with that gun. You need to make sure, like the FM are doing right now, get onto the bomb sites as quickly as you can, and then make sure you've got a friend with you who can get that frag back. The CZ can only get 1 or 2 mainly. Like, it should just be getting 1 frag and get taken down. But here we go, bomb going down now, and it's a 4-on-1 situation with Reason on 5 HP. I don't think he'll be able to do much here. Let's jump on board with him now and see what he manages to get a gun in hand here. If he can save that, it would be very nice indeed, and it would be worthwhile, to be honest.
Yeah, he knew that the FM Toxic player who fell to his death was on short on catwalk somewhere, so he slowly crept towards mid.
Just wanted that
to pick
gun.
Up that AK, exactly, because the AK-47, if my memory serves me correct, $2,750.
Yeah.
Yeah, $2,750. That's huge, and it's more powerful than the M4, which costs more. So it'll be a great save for Reason if he manages to keep it in the bag come the end of the round. And you know what? He might not. Have they spotted him? No, they haven't. So good save for Reason. And the CT should really buy up
The
here.
money's not great in that camp, though. It wouldn't be, well, I guess they did save that AK. It was not too bad. If the Reason had low money there, the fact he actually managed to save that gun was very important, actually. And we can see Weber actually picking up the orb now. Will he be going for the little phase at the beginning? As you say that, he does kind of just run across, but gets legged by my guess with 19 HP, and he's going to be pretty upset about that. It's going to really knock him off his confidence at the beginning of the round.
Socken making his way towards lower tunnels. It's always crucial, in my opinion, on the T side of Dusty to have someone lower tunnels, not just to make sure that no CT crept in there to cause havoc, but you can keep an eye on short and you can smoke mid-box, which can help you make your way towards the A-bomb site.
There we go, and a very tentative round here from the terrorists. We see them, it kind of looks like they might be setting up for a B split here. We can see the smokes going down for CT spawn. CTs are going to have 2 men in there. There won't be any resistance middle, but they will be setting up. And it looks like the bomb actually isn't going to be picked up yet, so they won't be executing anytime soon. I think they're just trying to draw out the grenades and maybe start some rotations for the CTs. And it looks like it's going to work as Pulse and Spuds do go down. It's going to leave Nilzini on very low HP indeed. It looks like they might be setting up here for a little to the smokes down in A, and I think they probably will just opt to grab the bomb and go for middle here. J-Chem, though, has got other ideas, and he can time this nicely. He might be able to pick up a couple of frags here. Make that 2, and here we go. Neil Zeno managed to take him down. Jake perhaps should have got 3 there because Neil was actually on very low HP, but here we go to be a 3-on-2 situation. Weber manages to take down Wendansky, and they're going to be making their way onto the A-bomb site now. Yeah,
here we go. The bomb is down on the A-bomb site, and Neil only on 6 points of health, and Weber only on 19, so this retake is more than doable for the CTs, provided no nades send Weber back to his grave. But here we go. It is going to be Neil, the Scotsman, to hold from A-ramp. Brilliant headshot onto Weber. And is Neil going to save the day for FM-eSports? Because let's be honest, Henry, they need more than 3 rounds as terrorists. 3 rounds is appalling. It's not good enough. And they need to win this round. And Reason's going to defuse. Weber should be along. He should be able to get it. And there we go. Down he goes. Bog standard round from FM-eSports. They got the bomb down on the A-bomb site. They sent someone to pit, and that's arguably why the map can be so T-sided.
Absolutely. If you can get in that position where it's a long plant and you have your strongest player, as in like Mike S, down in the pit there, it should be an almost guaranteed round. It can kind of sometimes get discovered like through smokes if people can get a smoke down and try the full defuse like Reason did then. But as we say that's the 4th round on the board for FM-eSports, and it looks like Rasta will be forced onto a full eco this time. It looks like their money situation has slipped away slightly. Does this look like it might be the 5th round and it might draw things up here?
Yep, an eco round coming in from Jacob and Co. Jacob going relatively aggressive at long, because again, those CZ75s and the pistols, you want to be up close and personal. You don't want to find yourself at a long distance battle.
Yeah, the T's just need to make sure they play a disciplined game here, stay together, enter choke points with a man behind them and use their smoke grenades and the utilities correctly. We can see the CT's pushing out long here. Neil Zeno will take down JK. It's going to be a 4-on-2 situation now. And the T's, they've got lots of time on the board. Just need to just choose one area and go together. We can see the CT's pushing offshore now, probably just looking for a couple more frags if they can. They manage a headshot, Neil, where he gets taken down. And Spuds has been the last man here.
Yeah, Neil needs to, just before I say that, Neil needed to be careful not to give away that AK-47. And here we go, Spuds has picked it up. And it'll be interesting to see whether he decides to go for this. He's made his way towards lower tunnels. Windansky is going to be the terrorist to watch upper tunnels. And let's see whether Spuds is going to go for it. He's making his way back down towards double doors. And in an ideal situation here, Henry, he really wants to be looking to save this AK-47, but Socken drops him.
It's not going to happen, and then has to get a draw things up here. 5-5. You have to remember that FM are on the more favourable side. So any rounds here that the CTs get is going to be a bonus, I think. Like 5 rounds is an acceptable half, to be honest. I think anything they get now is going to be just a bonus for them. So they'll be looking, I think CTs will be looking, like Rasta will be looking to get about 7 rounds, hopefully, in an ideal world. We can see them going back to this dual AWP setup here, which has worked so well for them in the past. It would be interesting to see where the terrorists choose to go now when they find out that the AWPs are out.
Yeah, well, as FM Toxic have done throughout this entire tournament, slow and steady wins the race, according to them, and it's worked for them so far.
I think they like to feel the map out first and work out what kind of setup's going on, so that they're very cautious of what the CTs could be doing, whether it's an aggressive round or whether they're boosting an AWPer up on short, for example. But it seems like they do favour this A bomb side. They kind of try to take some sort of position. Oh, that's a huge shot from Zed, taking down the AWPer on Spuds. Great work from him. And this is going to be very important frag indeed. It opens up the side and causes the CTs to rotate. As I say that, JKM and Pulse managed to pick up 2 frags of their own, and JKM with another, and Zed finally managed to shut him down. It's going to be a 2-on-2 situation now. Weber and Reason. Weber with the AWP in hand. It's going to be difficult for him to retake this bomb site with that, but here we go. They're going together. It looks like Weber may be going towards long, I think, and Reason will be pintering from short. So we've got the 2 terrorists opting to stay on the bomb site here.
Yeah, here we go. Zed is going to face short, and Windansky is going to be hiding at Graffiti. So here comes Reason, rotating all the way from the B bomb site, where they've put a barbecue at his feet. And here comes Weber. He has the AWP, so it should really work in his favour to peek long. But the T's are hiding. But in comes Reason, headshot onto Zed. And what can Windansky do? The answer is he's going to get 1 headshot, looking for the second. And Windansky gets the clutch. 5-6 or 6-5 in favour of FM Toxic. And it's really crucial here, Henry, that FM Toxic, they need more than 6 rounds.
Yeah,
like you said, anything for the CTs is a bonus from this point on.
That was a huge round from Windansky, managing the clutch 2-on-1 there. And like we said before, the reason for that, Weber having that AWP in hand, although some situations is brilliant and can be the best gun in the game, that is not the gun you want in hand when trying to retake the A bombs at close range. And that's going to knock the CTs onto another eco. We can see Jacob's actually opted for a scout here. We've seen that being used a lot, especially in the tournaments such as ESL 1 and Gfinity. We saw it come out quite a lot. In my opinion, it's not really that viable. I don't really see it, especially in the hands of someone who isn't their main sniper. I don't really see it making a massive impact of it this round, but it looks like the T's are aware it's an eco round here, doing the same, more of the same as they did last round, kind of as very slowly feeding out the map and seeing what's available to them.
Here we go, Socken all eyes on mid. Spuds is just hiding at the car area. I think if the terrorists were to push long, which we obviously know they're not, we'd have Jacob act as the bait on the A bomb site. And Spuds would try to get the CZ kill and take him by surprise, but the bomb, we can confirm, is going towards B. So let's see what Reason can do. He, of course, was tagged by the AWP. And really, I think Windansky is going to check this spot. Yeah, Windansky's read him like an open book. And from this point on, Henry, the bomb should go down this B bomb site. And it should really be a bog-standard anti-eco for them. Yep. Socken with a double. And 5 versus 2. Spuds and Jacob ain't going to pull it back up against the AK-47.
I think Jake will be trying to save his scout, to be honest. It's not really worth it. Yeah, down it goes. It's not really a gun you want to take into the next gun round, to be honest. And that's going to be more kills, Socken. That's a 4-man for him. He's going to be very happy with that. We'll get his money nice and strong. And looks like we will be able to see another buy here from the CT. You can see Weber opting to pick up, well, and Spuds as well, that dual AWP setup, which we've seen be so strong in the past. They haven't really been able to make it work for them the last couple of rounds. Spuds being able to was getting picked by AKs on short. I don't think he should really be going towards short, to be honest. He looks like he'd be actually going towards long this time, perhaps a stronger position. If he can just hold that long by himself and then allow his teammates to work off him, I think that'll be a lot stronger for them. I don't think short is the position for him on this occasion.
Here we go, an interesting setup that we haven't seen before from the CTs. They're now playing 2 up close and personal at long, and Weber does what Weber does best by getting that entry frag for the CTs, and maybe, just maybe, this round's going to be their 6th.
Yeah, I think you might be right here. That's a big pick from Weber, taking down another huge scalp in Mike S. And it's going to slow the T's right down. And you can see they might be setting up for another sort of mid-split here. You can see them kind of tentatively looking out and seeing what they can do, biding their time and seeing what's available.
So, again, the same fm-eSports concept of slow and steady wins the race. They want to sniff out where these CTs are, then they want to gang up on a player, but not when that double up setup is working so well, Henry. Spuds with the second kill, Weber with the first.
this is how they wanted to do it. Just have the more defensive setup with these orbs. I don't think that was working for them being more offensive. Just holding back and like, especially when the T's are going so slowly as well, it works perfectly for them. As you say, that Windansky manages to get a huge two-man onto the B bomb side, takes down Reason and Weber, and that's going to be one of the orbs taken down. Now it's going to be left on a 3-on-3 situation. Those picks the CT's got at the start of the round have been made redundant, and it looks like they're going to have a big retake on their hands. The HP advantage is in favour of the CTs, and they have got a few grenades left. I think we have one more flashbang to go in, and this will be their final move as we go in. JChem swarms onto the bomb site. Great opening frag from Pulse, and he's going to leave JChem in a one-on-one situation, and he manages to do it. He gets it, and that's going to be a very big round indeed. Very important for JChem. That's what they needed, and it was fantastic play from him. Good stuff.
Yeah, JChem saved the day, but I think personally, if I was Weber, I'd be absolutely fuming that Reason, his teammate who's just behind him, who's meant to be watching upper tunnels, let the terrorists just wander in and headshot him.
Absolutely. That's the problem when you play so defensively. Like if you're not watching every angle at all times, and sometimes that will happen. It's a risk you have to take sometimes. But there we go. We have got a full buy for both teams here. That was a very important round for the CTs. They haven't won a round in a while, so they're going to get their confidence back, and they know they can get the AWP picks at the start of the round. We only see Weber actually using the AWP this time.
Yeah, so Windansky in upper tunnels, slowly making his way towards lower. And the other four of his teammates just at the top of mid here, they're smoked out long, and by the looks of things, what do you think they're trying here?
Well, it looks like they're kind of just opting to kind of just hold outside this mid area. Maybe they're expecting the CTs to push with an AWP perhaps and trying something a little bit more offensive. We can see JChem's the only man that are long, and we have four of them split across the B and A and mid areas there. So T's just kind of be wanting to just feel out a little bit. I think they're just waiting for the CTs to use up all their utilities in terms of smokes and Molotovs, etc. So it's like you said before, like the terrorists do like to kind of just wait around and wait for their moment. I think they're just waiting for a prime opportunity to get in and just find out what they can do.
Yep, almost 45 seconds and counting as the terrorists creep towards short. Windansky's going to flash any AWP at mid, peeking it, spots absolutely no one. And if they do decide to dedicate towards the A bomb site here, they'll have both Spuds and Pulse to try and deal with. And JChem, of course, who is playing long as well, he'll be able to wrap round and back them up. But here we go. Molotovs are going to come up. Great smoke shot from Spuds. Should be able to make it too. Yes, he will. And well, how are the terrorists expected to get this bomb down when you've got a player like Spuds and a player like Pulse just getting frags for fun?
Well, for me, that looked too easy for them almost. I know Spuds got one through the smoke, but look, they didn't even lose any HP there. That A take just seemed a little bit forced from FM. It seemed like they just kind of had the time was running out, and it seemed the call was just made just to do anything. Yeah, and it just seemed like we've seen a lot of that this tournament, to be honest. I think it's just where the teams haven't been completely prepared, and they haven't got enough set pieces to fall back onto, so they kind of were waiting for the frag. It didn't happen, and they got forced to kind of make that A take, and it just looked a little bit too easy for the CTs, in my opinion, and that's going to bring us on to the 15th round now. This is a big one. We can see full buys here for both teams. One AWP as usual for CTs, and JChem will be going a little bit more offensive here, perhaps. You can see he will have some resistance in there. He manages to take down Zed. That is a huge opening frag, and that's going to do this, have the exact same effect we saw last round, where the T's won't really know what to do now, seeing as one of their main players has been taken out so early on in the round.
It was beautiful teamwork as well. His teammate flashed him in or smoked him in to put any potential terrorists in off, and then he just walked in and did what JChem does best, pull off frags. But here we go. Sokken's going to try and avenge the death of Zed, slowly creeping towards long with his back turned towards him. JChem, sees him pop out. Here comes the M4. JChem one, JChem with two. And come on, JChem, get us a fourth.
That was good stuff from them. Like, a bit silly from the T's to kind of run out through that smoke barrage. I think we all know in CSGO how deadly it can be to just run through and hope for the best for a smoke. It doesn't really work. They should have probably just kind of called that a day and kind of fallen back and perhaps tried something else. But that's going to be the 8th round for Rasta on the board, and they've managed to get a few in a row here. They've managed to swing that momentum that FM found back in their favour and actually win the half. So fantastic stuff from them. We just jump on the scoreboard here. Let's see who was making the big frags, as it were. We can see JChem actually leading the charge for Rasta, which is strange to see. We normally see Weber kind of going absolutely sick on these kind of events, but just looking at the other team there, we can see Mike S been very quiet this game, especially when he was on T side. Does too. We expect him to go so big with the AWP. This for me, he hasn't arrived whatsoever. We know this is the first map, it's the big stage. People are still warming up, but for me, a player of his caliber should be performing better at this level.
Well, let's see if he's going to wake up and smell the bacon come this second round. The terrorists have a lot to work with here, Henry. 8 rounds of CT.
Yeah, they've set themselves a very nice target indeed. You just need 8 to win the map. It's very doable indeed. This pistol will help towards their campaign, and I think if they do get the pistol, this could tie it up for them. I think it'll be too hard for FM to get back into this, but we have seen FM have a very strong CT half as well. So I think it is all to play for, but this pistol is going to be very important indeed.
Yeah, and on Dust too. I mean, in CSGO, we see the mass majority of pistol rounds going towards a B bomb site. They want to keep things at close quarters, which is understandable. Yeah. The only worry is if the nades come into tunnels, then you get wrecked.
Well, basically. Yeah, we can see the kind of traditional setup here for the teams. We've got 4 Glocks and 1 utility player that has all the nades available. He will be setting his team up to get them into position. We can see the execution it might be initiated now. It looks like they'll be going up on towards the A bomb site. They have Weber down at long, causing a little bit of distraction perhaps. Kind of just keep the players there at long and there we go. He's headshot both of them down there. That's fantastic work from him. May not have got any kills, but he's completely disabled those 2 from the game. And this is going to be very important indeed. If they make their way onto A, it should be very easy frags. There we go. Weber taking down one of his victims down at long, and then J-Chem's going to get the other. That's going to be great assistance play from Weber, and Socken actually manages to take down 2 of them, J-Chem and Weber. Huge scalp to him, and it's just back and forth now. 15 seconds remains on the clock. Bomb in hand on Reason. Let's see, will he be able to get that down? He does. It's going to be a nice long plant, and the CTs now have to retake.
Yes, they do. Spuds has pushed towards long, just in case any CTs decide to try and retake the bomb site from there, but they're all going to come through short. Great crisp USP shot from Windansky, and now they're all going to face Pulse. 1 person drops down, 1 person to his right, surrounded, gets 2, and now Spuds trying to do a bit of a Kaylee. Let's see whether he's going to manage to do it. And well, he didn't do it in midair, but the terrorists have secured yet another round. Fair play to Rasta.
Very nice stuff from them. I think that's all about Weber. He might not have got the most fragged round, but the fact he disabled those 2 players with 2 great headshots, managed to get one of them. Superb work from him. That's the reason that whole tactic worked. The CTs were completely knocked onto the back foot before a frag had even been exchanged. So fantastic stuff from him. It's sending a message out to the opposite team. And here we go. And Antigua here looks like it's a little bit faster pace than what we used to. We see all T's kind of hanging out outside that long A area, looking to see what kind of frags are available. They're kind of falling back a little bit now and just feeding out the map as we normally see. It'll be very important they don't drop any frags here. As we can see, the CTs have opted for 5 times CZs. Socken, as usual, we've seen him do it almost every eco round this tournament. He manages to get himself some head armor and 1 flashbang on Uzunia. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here and what they've got up their sleeve.
Here we go. The terrorists again looking to keep their distance. They've dropped the bomb outside along just in case someone ends up going down. It's Socken who gets one. Socken with the double on shore with the CZ. And Socken, Henry, showing us exactly how strong the CZ is.
Yep, absolutely. Quite slightly sloppy play there, in my opinion, from Rasta. They should have, as soon as that 1 first frag was exchanged, the backup player should have been running around the corner to help them out and get that frag back. They kind of stifled themselves and weren't able to capitalize on that first frag. But here we go. Weber making his way into the B bomb site. He is no stranger to there. He should be able to kick up a couple of frags here. We can see Socken, though, has picked up the AK, and he will be backstabbing as fast as he possibly can. Weber is all too aware, though, manages to take him down. It's going to be a 3-on-2 situation. Zed and Windansky to retake. They're both going to be outside, 1 in the window and 1 in the door, and it seems like they might just be waiting for a flashbang. They've got nothing left in their arsenal. I think they're seeing if there was any opportunity for a quick frag, but the T's are playing very disciplined now and not giving anything away, as it seems like our last man is going to be Zed, and he's going to just get away with that Bison in hand. I'm not really sure what he's planning on doing with that, but every save helps, I suppose.
Yeah, well, there will be eco in the next round, exactly.
Just
so every save helps.
a Bison. It's not really going to do much against AKs and Galils, but let's see what he can do. I guess it's better than nothing. He has the CZ in hand as well. So that's going to be another round on board for Rasta, and that's going to be the 10th one for them. Good stuff from them. Solid play so far. Don't seem to be giving too much away. Lost a couple of frags that round, but it's not going to be too important. As you can see, the CTs are on yet another eco round.
I think credit where it's due to Weber that last round. He was 1 step ahead of Socken. Socken thought he was coming from behind, that he was going to get the frag, but Weber was
already
looking there.
Great game sense, that boy. Very, very smart player. He's been around the block a couple of times. He knows what he's doing. Yeah,
one of the best in the country, no doubt about it. And, well, Zed ain't too bad himself.
As we say that, that's quite a sloppy play from Weber. Trying to utilise that good spawn, but he should have taken that position a bit more tentatively, in my opinion. Zed getting quite an easy frag onto Weber there, and Smokes will go down, and here we go. CT should be able to just fall back from this long area. I think Zed can just hold this by himself. The bomb is going to be down while the T's make up their mind what they want to do here. We can see 2 CTs actually towards B. I think from what I see on the radar, they might be opting to kind of push into the tunnel soon, depending on when the next bit of action happens.
If they do go mid to B, though, they are going to have someone to their right. And, well, Spuds didn't check it, and Socken's going to make him pay the price. And as it stands right now, we might have an eco round.
Why is no one with him? I don't understand. Why is he going out by himself and just dying? And just very, very sloppy plays right now on these anti-ecos. Perhaps just a little bit of stage nerves going on, but a breakdown of communication, it seems like. But the T's will make their way out of middle and go up to B here. And we can see Zed pushing around long, and he will be trying to backstab here and trying to see what's available to him. Oh, big frags here. It's going to be pulse left. And we see this so many times that the CTs haven't even dropped a frag there on their eco round. So interesting. Very interesting round, and one fm-eSports definitely needed to kind of keep their head above water in this tricky situation they've got themselves into.
Yeah, they'll be very, very disappointed with that. And I think even if we take a look at the start of the round where Weber just went down so cheaply,
yeah,
I think maybe it's a bit of complacency, kicking in.
Well, I think people like to get land confidence. As soon as you start hitting big shots and you kind of feel like you're in the zone, it's very difficult to resist temptation. You get the good spawns and you think, oh, screw it, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go rip their heads off. That's what I used to do. Like when you get confident, sometimes it doesn't always work out, as we just got demonstrated too. But here we go. The T's are going to be on fully get here, and Zed picks up the big frag onto Spuds, and the bomb will just be trying to get down desperately. I think we see Jacob actually does manage to get it down. It's going to be good for their economy. We can see the CTs now coming in. We can see. Oh, that's going to be quite an easy clean-up for them. No real troubles there, but the bomb is important to the terrorist economy, and I think we should see an AWP come out next round, perhaps. Whether it'll be on Weber or Spuds, I'm not sure, but I'd assume it's going to be Spuds.
Balloons.
Balloons, everyone.
Balloons, yeah. Cheers, Valve. But 10-9, the terrorists are finally going to buy up again.
There it is, there's the AWP coming out. We can see no sniper rifles, actually, for the CT side. They'll be opting to keep these rifles and keep their economy strong.
Yeah, Spuds was all eyes on double doors, but didn't pull the trigger and didn't manage to drop any of the FM players down to low HP. Socken, interesting decision, opting to keep that Galil, but hey, why buy an M4 when,
Definitely keep the money strong.
Exactly, yeah. Keep the economy flowing, keep the money strong. And Zed, along with Mike S, are all eyes on Long Hook. So let's see where the terrorists are going to go from here. It looks like, again, they like to take mid-control, and mid-control is so crucial on Dust 2.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just kind of it's the gateway to the map. You can see there you've got 3 entrances to parts. You've got middle, B tunnels, and that entrance up into short. So we see the terrorists kind of take this area quite a lot and kind of sit around, and they kind of just like to feel out the CTs and see what's available to them, and then they kind of go execute into a set piece after that. We've seen them do a lot of A takes so far. We haven't seen many mid splits actually. It'll be interesting to see what Rasta have up their sleeve here. I know they like to utilise all the grenades. We can see JKM and Weber have got Molotovs in hand right now. So here we go. Looks like they might be opting to go towards B. And yeah, this is Weber setting up the distraction now. This will be the mid to B split. We can see Spuds with the AWP leading the charge, seeing what frags are available to him. We've got a player, Windansky, has to go big here, and he does. He manages to pick up 2 huge kills, make that 3 as he takes down JKM. Weber's going to be the last man alive, and Neil Zeno will shut him down. And that's going to bring us all square at 10-10.
10-10 indeed, and terrorists forced onto yet another eco, and it just seems like the terrorists keep ecoing.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
what Counter-Strike's about.
Well, this is what that's the kind of big plays FM are going to have to pull out if they're going to take this map, and this is going to be the first time they're in lead here on their CT side. And here we go. This is T's opting for a slightly faster route. JKM running out by himself with a long area, perhaps utilising a spawn he had, but let's see how this goes down.
Yeah, Weber preparing that flash towards mid to B. He's going to gamble. He's going to try and drop Socken. Does so successfully with the P250. And now they're going to slowly march their way towards short. And again, their aim here, Henry, on an eco round, just get the bomb down.
If you can, get the bomb down, and a couple of frags wouldn't hurt either. It's basically just trying to upset the CT economy as well, just trying to knock some guns off them so they're not so comfortable next round. But let's see what they can do here. They have got a couple of flashbangs going over, and let's see if Weber will be jumping down into that CT spawn area. It looks like he's doing the A's fake here. And Windansky, again, is going to be presented with 4 players running up to him. Will he be able to capitalise like he did last round? I think he might be able to. Spuds actually manages to sneak past him and take down one of the CTs, but they're going to shut it down, and that's going to be the 11th round on the board for fm-eSports.
Yep, great play from Windansky, showing us exactly what he's capable of, and fm-eSports, for the first time in this game, I think, finally have the lead.
Yes, so here we go. We can see Spuds has actually picked up the AWP. Interesting enough, my guess is opting to go for a full rifle upsetter now. Maybe lost his confidence a little bit with the AWP and just running this rifle full rifle setup. It'll be interesting to see how this pans out for them. I think they might have to adjust this after this first gun round, depending on how it goes down. And Reason gives his frag away quite cheaply there. Socken will take him down, and looks like the T's won't give up on this position. They will keep going. Pulse answers back with a frag of his own. Takes down 2. myeS goes down in the hands of Pulse. And JKM gets another. It's going to be a 4-on-2 situation now. Nilzini and Windansky are the 2 players remaining for the counter-terrorists, and we can see them coming up that mid-area now. Looks like they might have to pincer again. That's a great tactical smoke from JKM. That's going to close them out. I think they might just want to save this. This is going to be a stretch too far. As we say that, Windansky does manage to take down JKM. And he goes to burn Spuds to a crisp. It's going to be a 2-on-2 situation.
Yeah, here we go. Windansky nailed in the head. Pulse on a 4-man, but he's not going to get it. The man from Scotland will manage to eradicate him. And out goes the flash, and he knows this is planted for long. He knows that Weber's going to be in pit, and this is so difficult for the CT. For Neil, Weber's ex-leader, and he will get it. 11-11, and we're back to even Steven. And this really has been a tight affair, Henry.
Yeah, well, that was a great retake from the CT, to be honest. They did very well indeed to actually get past that smoke and even get it down to a one-on-one situation. Like we've seen before, it's very difficult to win those rounds, and the bomb was down on a long plan like it was. But here we go. We still have got a full buy now for the CTs. They're not going to be too shook up by that, and we can see Zed has actually picked up the AWP for the CTs, which is quite interesting. It seems like myeS definitely does not want to AWP today, and here we go. You can see the T's kind of keeping what they're doing, kind of getting that short control and then executing shortly after.
Yeah, maybe, you know, myeS getting a bit of
the shell shock.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe he's not used to playing on such a large stage like this. Maybe he's getting a bit nervous. But let's forget about myeS and go back to the game. Spuds, all eyes on mid with his comrade to the left of him. And the terrorists, they really have abused short quite a lot. The CTs, unlike Jacob in the last half, these CTs have opted to play more long-sided and stack long rather than short.
Absolutely. Well, we can see the CTs are actually going very defensive this time. They know what's coming. They've kind of adjusted their setup. They were having people playing on short to begin with, and now they've got a more defensive mentality employed right now. We can see the T's are going to execute onto a Reason dropping down now, and that's going to be a huge shot. That's the AWPer being taken down, and they manage to take down another one in Socken. And this round is going to be very difficult indeed for the CTs to retake here. We've seen them do good retakes before. The T's actually haven't got someone down long now, and the CT's going to be lying in wait and seeing there's a frag. Won't be able to pick up here. Oh, that's not going to be able to. JKM takes out Windansky. It's been myeS, the remaining man for fm-Toxic now.
Yeah, myeS 1 versus 5. You know what? We've seen him do it before, but I hate to say it, I don't think we're going to see him do it again. He'd be happy just by saving this M4 in the armor.
I think so, yeah. We can see, just having a look at the scoreboard here, Socken has been stepping it up quite nicely. He's got 23 fragged. In the other camp, we've got Pulse and JKM. JKM leading the charge on 21 fragged, Pulse on 19, Weber on 18, Spuds on 12, and Reason on 5.
Yeah, but myeS might have a bit of resistance coming his way. Down goes Pulse. He's being pushed from the other side as well, but he will just about get away with that M4.
We can see the money's not going to be a problem with CTs. Windansky with about $11,000 in his backpack. He's going to be able to afford a flurry of guns and drop them down for his team. We can see myeS finally picking up the AWP now. So it's, let's see what he's able to do with this. I think he's getting boosted up now. It looks like he'll probably go for that lower B pick, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, let's go and see.
Yeah, here we go.
If we can find him, there he is. All eyes on lower tunnels.
So this is an offensive play from the CTs now. We've seen him keep very deep in previous rounds, but now it's time for them to kind of show a little bit of offense and see what they can do here. No players actually going to be going towards lower B for the terrorists, so they're going to be, Pulse is going to spot him. That's going to be, it's almost embarrassing for the CTs. No real resistance at all. Pulse got himself a nice free kill just by walking down middle. Perhaps the CTs waiting a little bit too long in that area. I think you just need to go for the opening frag and fall back. And that's going to be a huge scope to take down. And Pulse does get headshot there. And it's going to force the CTs to kind of spread a bit thinly now. They're going to only have one player set up in B.
I think in a situation like that, you expect your mid player to back you up and make sure no one can come down and spot you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they like I said, they overcooked that a little bit and stuck around for a bit too long. And that's a big nade from Zed taking down Pulse. And they're going to take it to a 4-on-4 situation.
Yeah, Zed blows Pulse to smithereens. Jacob just about spots Zed's left arm, and Socken is going to come and help him out. So the CTs want to go aggressive. They want to go up close and personal, but Reason's going to go on Zed with the hat-trick. And well, Zed may have just single-handedly won this round for fm-Toxic.
Yeah, absolutely. That was absolutely a huge play from him. Nice spray down, very confident stuff. And here we go. Weber's going to be left on a 3-on-1 situation. You're not going to be able to do much with it. And this game is just back and forth, isn't it? Both teams just kind of answering back as soon as it looks like one of them gets an advantage. So this looks like it may have to be an eco for the T's. It looks like they actually are going to force it. They had one player on very low cash. I think they will be able to drop for him. And we have got the orb coming out on Spuds now. Windansky with the orb for FM Toxic. It seems like they're all having a go at the orb today, seeing who can be successful with it.
Yeah, we don't normally see Windansky play the back of B either, but he has decided to go for it this time around. Of course, he has the AWP, so it makes sense.
Sure.
Spuds all eyes on short. He's not really going to see anything. I guess he's hoping that one of the CTs gets a bit complacent, goes for a gamble, pushes, and that he's one step ahead of him, but it just didn't go in his favour. But here we go, Spuds and Pulse & Co preparing for what looks to be somewhat of a mid-to-B push. They went in and changed their mind, and Rasta Gaming taking a leaf out of the FM Toxic book with slow and steady wins the race.
Yes, here we go. They're just kind of looking for any picks available to them. It's working so far for them, they just need to make sure they win the post-plant game and don't get 3-man by Zed like we saw last round. But here we go. It's going to be time is going to be dwindling away. It looks like a fast B split will be coming in for the terrorists. Stocken's going to be the only man there to try and stop them. Sprays his load into the smoke and unable to find a frag there. Windansky actually manages to answer back, and Nilzino should be able to pick up a couple of frags here. He hasn't got anything left in his magazine. It's going to be Windansky left at the back of the site with the AWP. He gets taken down by Pulse, and it's a 3-on-3 situation. Fast retake now from Stocken. He gets taken down by Reason. Zed and Mike S will be last man. Mike S manages to answer back on a shot to Reason, and now a 2-on-2 situation.
Yeah, Mike knows exactly where Spuds is. That nade literally tore him apart, left him on only 5 points of health. And now fm-eSports need to stay cool, calm and collected. Push this bomb site together. Don't push it one by one, guys. Get this kill as a team, and they do so. And they finally retake the lead. 13-12, and a brilliant retake from FM Toxic.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff from them. And we can see the economy on the terrorist side. They're going to be forced onto an ego here. I think it'd be foolish for them to try and force anything else. They could potentially bring Galil's out, but for me, they just need to eco this one and play it nice and calm. Maybe get a couple of smokes to try and get a bomb down. See a PT50 to CZ. I think that's the wise decision here. We can see a lot of teams recently get frustrated at this point in the game and try and surprise the team with a Galil buy, but it's good to see them not doing it, having some discipline and kind of thinking about the decisions before making them.
Here we go. Jacob is trying to drop down Windansky at mid, but let's be honest, M4 versus P250 never going to work. And talking about Windansky, he gets 2 before going down. And now Reason's going to lead the charge, to lead the stomp towards the B bomb site. They've fallen back. He knew that the CTs knew he was there, and probably did the smart thing in the end. Regroup with his teammates.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got 3 players remaining here. They just want to get a bomb down if anything. They know they can potentially get in B here. It's going to be the AWP they're waiting for them. My guess starts to hit some shots, and here we go. The T's know he's at the back there. Takes out another one. He's going to have 1 man left, and Nilzino will finish him off. And it's going to be 14 rounds now for fm-eSports. They've done very well this CT half, like showing that they can do exactly what Rasta did to them in the first time round.
Yeah, and take a look at the economical situation. If the terrorists lose this one, FM Toxic will be on 15 rounds, which will, of course, be match point, and FM and Rasta will force the buy.
It's obviously the biggest round of the game right now. We've got full buys from both teams. It's going to be a very important one for Rasta. It looks like they're going to go for something a little bit faster this time. Instead of just holding that middle area and seeing what they can do, it seems like the T's have just made their way up onto the short area. They have been smoked off. I think it's going to slow them down.
It is, and as we've seen before in CSGO, it's not a very good idea to try and run through the smoke. So Socken is going to be the CT to try and prevent a push towards long, putting those defensive smokes down, making sure no terrorists can take him by surprise and push through them, because it's just too much of a gamble for them to rush through, just because that smoke blinds them. Yeah,
absolutely. Like it's a very silly move, especially when you have this much time left to run through the smoke. They just want to make sure they buy their time and seize their opportunity when it arises. Don't just try and go for any smoke just because you've got nothing else to do right now. Oh, that's going to be a big kill from Mike S and the JKM. JKM perhaps showing a little bit too much flesh there in the mid area.
Yep, and the terrorists now, they're going to all glide towards short. Down goes Reason, down goes Spuds to the hands of Windansky. And the Pulse and Weber now left to try and save the day for Rasta Gaming. And you know what? I don't think it's going to happen. Down goes Pulse as well, as the leader of FM Toxic sweeps them up. And they are on match point. And Henry now, because of the way the economical situation works, the terrorists have to force buy this one.
Yeah, we can see that they have to, or like you're absolutely right, one more round for FM and they win. The money isn't too bad. They can afford a full round of AKs. They could bring out an all with no armor if they fancied it. But it looks like they will just be going for the 5 AKs here. This is the moment where fm-eSports want to just close this out now. They don't want to let this drag out and be forced onto an eco themselves. So this is the point where they want to do something a little bit audacious perhaps and kind of just get in their faces and get the first frag and guarantee it. As we say that though, the T's have done something a little bit audacious themselves, just run out long, taken that spawn, and the next frag to be very important indeed. Socken opening it up, Pole's getting the next one, Spuds has one of his own, and Zed is going to go down in the hands of them, and it's going to be the terrorists completely swarming that A-bomb, that A-long area, and now it's all down to the CTs to have a little bit more of a defensive setup. The next frag will be very important.
Yeah, the CTs finally a man up when Dansky gets boosted up onto the A-bomb site. And I don't think the terrorists are quite aware that he's there. He's going to put down some resistance. He's expecting someone to come from short. Good stuff from the terrorists. They want to surround this bomb site. They want to surround the A-bomb site. But Windansky's not going to let that happen. Reason pushes up long and gets the headshot onto Windansky. And they now find themselves one man out. The bomb has to go down. They're not going to plant for long. And that's quite interesting, actually. I thought just plant for long. They knew they had long control.
That's more of a platform plan itself. So you can actually cover that from the platform. Yeah, okay. Exactly. So it still kind of works for them, obviously. It's not as strong as the traditional one. But here we go. We've got Reason being left with Spuds in the 2-on-2 situation. So, Neil Zinio does manage to keep him down, and there we go. 1-on-1 situation now. Neil coming up from long. They need to win this round just to kind of click this map for them. Reason knows he needs to win this one. As he makes his way up, and that's going to be it, and that's going to be the first map going in favour of fm-eSports. Great stuff from Neil. Nice, cool, calm, and composed play. Yeah, great stuff from him. Good map.
Yeah, so 16-12 in favour of FM Toxic as far as the first map's concerned. And bear in mind, because FM Toxic came through the upper bracket, in the old format, they would have already won this final because they would have had a map advantage. But this time round, guys, the team that came through the upper bracket final aren't going to have a one map advantage.
One map advantage.
So it's one